Let me just check if it's live or not. Okay, I think it's live. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to a new Angular team live coding. Today we'll be building an application. We are calling it the Leaderboard of Nonsense. I have today with me Fábio and Nauany. Introduce yourself to the community.
Okay, I'm Fábio, and I'm an Angular developer at Bitovi. And yeah, I've been working with Angular for about 3 or 4 years, and just the Angular 2, not AngularJS. And excited to build the leaderboard of nonsense.
Hello there, my name is Nauany. I'm a backend developer actually, and I'm here to help with data modeling.
Okay, cool. Let's start with some explanation about the topic. Um, I'm gonna pull here and some mockups that we did so we can see what we are going to build. Okay, so this is supposed to be the leaderboard of nonsense. We need to build a leaderboard to score the best, to record the best scores in our team. You can see here on the left we have a lot of games. We can select from them, and then when selecting each game you can see the winner, the best score, and then you can see the second one, third, and the fourth. We will have a public area which is this place that will be shown to everyone who has the link, and we will have a private area dedicated to connected users so they can update their profile, for example, update their name, description, and an avatar that's going to be shown here, and another private area for a specific admin so he can add new matches and new games. I think that's it. Do you guys have something to add?
Just for fun, we wanted to use the Windows 95 UI kit, and then it should look like Windows 95.
Let me pull the
Yeah.
UI so we can see it. Okay, this one. So we should use this UI.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, so what's the next step now?
Yeah, for the UI kit, there's a React library that uses that UI kit, but there's no Angular one, so it's going to be a challenge to see how it's supposed to be used and if we can do that in Angular. So we're going to learn as we go, and that should be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and for the project, we only generated a project here with the CLI, so it has nothing on it. We will be building on the go the stuff. We will be tweaking stuff and adding as we need. What do you guys think is the first step? Should we start with the architecture, the data model?
I think we should add linting to our project because now, since Angular 12, I think, it's not the default anymore. You don't have any linting set up.
Okay.
So for the first thing we should do here is just run ng-lint and then Angular will offer us to configure that for us.
Okay, let's do that. Should I give you the access or I just type ngLint?
Just type it.
Would you like to add ESLint now? Yes.
Yeah, the first question was analytics.
Okay. So we will be using the ESLint, the B2V ESLint config, right?
Yeah, we have an awesome package that we're building for clients, and it's open source, and that is at bitovi/ESLint config, and it has a bunch of recommended rules, so you can quickly set up your the best possible rules for your project. And it's really simple to set up, just a couple of steps. And the first step is to install the Bitovi ESLint config package.
Okay.
And the second one is to add the Angular specific rules to our project.
Okay. Let's see first what the first command did for us. It updated the ESLint config. It added the ESLint.json, updated the Angular.json with the linting, the proper linting, and added some scripts here and some dependencies, ngTest
Yes.
and nglint. Okay.
Are we going to commit that?
Whatever you, I think we should commit everything, like add in ESLint at once with the config, with the B2V config.
Okay, so we need to install and then edit our ESLint config file.
Install Husky or something like Husky. I think that would be too much to install Husky. What do you think, guys? Should we?
We should. I love Husky.
I think it's too much for this project, no?
I don't know what it does. Can someone explain?
It runs things for you when you commit.
It makes sure that when you commit, you are following the. For example, you can configure it so when you commit, in each commit, for example, you will see if the committer has made the proper, has used the proper title, the proper content, like he used fit, he used fix or core or something like this.
Nice. So we could set up Prettier to auto format our code in with Husky.
Yes, and when you're committing, it will run the formatting scripts for you and the testing scripts, so you won't forget it.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
We can also have git commit message linter for enforcing.
Yeah, it's what is it called? It's git messaging.
Git commit message linter.
Yeah, git commit message convention. Get message linter. Okay.
Wait, did we install ESL config already?
I believe yes.
Yes. Okay, so we need to finish that setting this up. Can you go back to the repository page? So there are instructions on how to configure it and where
Okay.
to add the Angular set of rules. Okay, so in our extends array inside our ESLint config file, which should be ESLint RC file, something like that, we're going to copy that ESLint at Bitovi, ESLint config Angular, just the first
Just the
element.
first one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And that comes with a set of rules already picked up by Bitovi. So we
This
should be
one
fine.
has RxJS separated, like if React team wants to use it.
Yeah, so if you just want RxJS rules, you could use that specific rule set.
Okay,
But
cool.
we want all the Angular rules, which include RxJS and other rule sets as well. And you can even see which ones are included in that.
Okay, so I think this one is done, right? I don't know why it's stuck like this.
I don't know. Could be a bug.
It's a
Yeah,
bug.
it doesn't even let me go out. Okay,
Okay.
it's okay. So let's go to ESLint.
Yeah, .eslit.rc.json.
And here add an extends.
Yeah, we are going to add an extends property in the root of our file, and then
Copy the.
yeah.
I think it's complaining because I'm not using double quotes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's test if this is working. Do you have a rule in mind so we can test it?
Just run nglint. Let's see if it's working.
Okay.
Probably didn't install correctly.
Yes,
Just run an npm install.
added 8 packages. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a problem here in extents. Let me see how it's.
Yeah.
I already have the. Extends.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah,
Is it in package.json file?
let's see. Is it in the dev dependencies?
Yes. It should. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
that previous npm
I didn't complete.
npm. Yeah, just we need to run that again so it's installed.
Okay. It's acting out. I think when I hit exit, it didn't finish yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so while it's installing, let's have a quick look on the rules we have. How can we see them? I should go here.
So there's if you scroll down, there's the
TypeScript,
no
React.
no go back on the previous page.
Okay.
So there's a list in that little table that shows which set of rules are included in Angular configuration and also on React configuration.
In React configuration, there is only this RxJS one, right?
Yeah, base, jest, JSX, and TypeScript for React version.
Okay, they are separated because you don't know if the project's using, for example, TypeScript or.
So React does include a TypeScript, but I believe it's only going to use TypeScript if it's installed. And Angular also does this with NGRX, RxJS. If they are not installed, then it wouldn't apply those lint rules. Anyways, that should be installed by now.
Yeah, it's.
Maybe there's a problem.
Why it's trying to auto attach? No, probably it's irrelevant to this.
Is this an issue with Node? Which Node version are you using?
I think the latest. No, I have to do the. Sorry. It's no dash dash version.
Yeah.
16. I think some problem with this shared terminal. Let me try it. Try to do it here. I'm gonna kill this one. Try to install in the this one. Okay. It's giving again this.
Yeah, it looks like a VS Code live share error.
Where is it?
I mean, it looks like because it's telling you that didn't find Node on path, so that's weird.
Yeah. And we can do this, so Node is available on path. Okay. I'm gonna stop sharing this.
Okay.
And see if it's the problem. Okay. Now we can see errors.
Try npm install again, and then install Utopia's lint config?
Maybe removing the node modules folder and the package locked.json.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so Mamu, I don't know who that is. Never seen him. Suggests npm CI, which will remove the build modules folder.
I have never used this npm CI.
Yeah, it's great for pipelines.
CI clean install. Okay, makes sense. What a beautiful stream. Seeing errors in
Well,
installation.
that's the reality. That's
Yeah,
the full dev experience.
yeah. This auto attach, I think it's because of the debugger here. I made it to auto attach on node. It's not relevant to this, I think.
Okay, so do we get the same error?
It's blocked again.
Can you kill those terminals and open new ones? Okay. Disable the disable this
Yeah, I'm
auto
gonna
attach.
disable it. Maybe it's the reason why you are struggling. Let's see. It's not installed, right?
It's not. It should be on that dependencies.
Mm.
You can use the short as well, npmi -d
Oh, it's added
capital
now.
D.
Finally!
Yeah. Yay. Okay.
Okay, so
Now you can
let's...
run ng-lint.
Okay. Should I run it with the local... Oh, I have on the same version. I was going to say, should I run npm all files pass linting? Okay. Let's make him unpass the linting.
Yeah, just created an empty
empty constructor.
ng on edit or something. Yep, that should.
Okay, it's complaining from now. Unexpected MG constructor.
It should.
Yeah. Ingent. Yay, we have an error. Unexpected
Nice.
MG constructor. Okay, it's working. Let's commit this.
Yep.
Okay, it's a fit. No scope. Tada. Add P2V. Okay, so what's next now?
Maybe you want to share the repository.
Yeah, on GitHub.
I'm just gonna share this on the stream. So if anyone wants to follow up. Okay.
Oh, it's not signed.
So let's start. No, I mean, I just shared the GitHub link to the repo.
Okay, cool.
So now we probably want to start building the application itself.
Yeah.
Right.
Should we start with the data model or generating components?
I think we can discuss the data model. So
okay. Should I pull the mocks? I think someone said that the link, the URL got censored. Okay. It's working now. It's this one. Okay, so this is the repo.
Nice. So we probably want to go back to live share feature and maybe discuss the documents Nauany prepared for us about the data model.
Okay. Let me pull the give me just 1 second. Meeting. Okay. Okay, you can share your screen now.
Can you guys see it?
Yes.
So this is the initial version of our diagram for the data model of this project, Leaderboard of No Sense. And this is C code diagram, but I think it explains well what we're doing here. Should I explain the relationships or should I just show the diagram?
Yeah, sure. Can you zoom in so people can see better?
Yeah, I'm trying to unping this. It's not. How to unping? Okay, I think that's
Yeah,
the best
that's
that I
good.
can do. Okay.
So, about the relations, we have a game. The game is composed by its ID, its avatar, the name and the description, of course. So, a game would be, for example, Counter Strike, Tetris, this kind of thing. And the game can have zero or many leaderboards because how can you have a leaderboard if no one played the game yet? The leaderboard is composed by ID, MID, its name, its description, and the metrics used to construct the leaderboard. And of course, each leaderboard belongs to one game and one game only. So, about the leaderboard will have one or many metrics, and the same goes for metrics. The metrics can be part of one or many leaderboards. They will have an ID, a game ID, a name, and is lower is better or not. It's going to be a boolean because deaths, for example, in a competitive game would be a lower is better true metric. That makes sense. Each score is related to one metric, and each metric is related to one score. That's what the dash thing represents. The matches can have one or many players, maybe it's a single player game, and the players will have ID, avatar, name, and description, all strings. A player can have zero or multiple scores, but a score belongs to just one player. And the player can have zero scores because maybe he didn't play the game yet. He just registered himself. And last but not least, each match can have one or many scores, and each score is related to one match only. So this would look like this in the database. Sorry.
So that's great. So one thing we didn't mention yet is that we're going to use Firebase as our
Mm-hmm.
backend,
Yeah.
and Nauany already set up some mocked data in Firebase, so we will be able to quickly, hopefully quickly get data from Firebase. But I haven't used Firebase at all, and I think Ilyass has some experience with it.
Just a small
And
one.
Firebase
It's
is
not
an
going to help.
what now, Eddie?
Firebase is a NoSQL database, and two main concepts are document and collection. This is a collection, and a collection contains multiple documents of the same similar structure. That's how NoSQL works, instead of having tables.
Yeah, and we can add more properties, and
Mhm.
I think that doesn't that's not a problem for Firebase, right? In a SQL, you would
Yeah.
Yep.
have to use add a column, or you would have to set up before adding information to that.
Sure thing. For example, we can have this game here be completely different. Name special different, and it's an integer, and that works. I don't recommend it, but it works.
Mm-hmm. That's why in our end, in the front end, we should not trust the data coming from Firebase. Like we should always do checks if, for example, email is a attribute in user or something like this, because we actually don't know if it's part of the data or not. So yeah, it will add some
Yep.
work for us in the front end.
I think we can just assume the correct shape of each document.
Yeah, and what came to my mind is when making the interfaces and stuff, we'll be making all the attribute as optionals. This way will help TypeScript to know that hey, all these attributes are optional, so you can find, for example, an undefined or something. That would help us in the front end.
I agree. We could have this person being a pro player, for example. So this would be another property. And this one is not, so they don't have this property.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do you want to do now? Should we start coding and creating some components?
Yeah, let's give these people some code.
Yeah.
Let me just change the scene to this and make this here. Okay. Okay, so should we start with the architecture, like generate the component and stuff? From the mocks, I think we have how many components? We have, okay, so we have this sidebar, this component, the card, and we have this table or cards or whatever we want to make here, and we have this component, we have the main that's holding everything. We have probably a component here, the menu and stuff. This area is public. We probably will need setting up some routing, for example, for adding new match. Oh, it's not a page for adding a game, a page for updating the profile, and a page like this one, the public one, for showing the leaderboard and stuff. And inside of this we will have these components. What do you think?
I think we can start by building the um, left menu navigation, and then the content would be where we have a routing set up, and the navigation menu at the right top, where we have some um, options for logged in users, or a login button for non-logged in users. So it would be like 3 components, and in the main content section, we would just have the selected leaderboard for now. So we would have like a leaderboard component, and we could just we could set up Firebase already with the mocked content, or we could just create a service, mock data, and then later connect that service to Firebase.
Okay, so let's start with making the routes. I believe you have 3 pages, so it's fine. I'm gonna use this NX console to generate components. Even though if you don't have NX installed in your application, Angular CLI, NX can use the Angular CLI under the hood, so you can benefit from this extension. I'm gonna generate a module for the update profile, a module for the login, and a module for this page. Whatever, I don't know how are we going to call it. Okay, let's start with the login. For the project, it's running. It's running ng dry run, I guess. Ng generate dry run. It shows you live what are the things that happening with your changes. For example, if you made something a change, for example here, what are the things that will be created and stuff. The declared module, app module, create flat, path. relative to workspace. Let's put it in the root. Okay, for the route, gonna call it, for example, login, create routing module, child
Ilyass,
s.
is that UI from an X plugin?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Yeah, the one you're using, the form.
It's from NX. Yeah.
Oh, and it can handle non-NX
Yeah. It
projects.
works with
That's great.
only Angular CLI.
Awesome.
But I have something here. You can see it's npx ng generate. I don't know. Maybe it's command not found. Why? I have npx.
I think live share is
Yeah, live share is missing
probably
this.
buggy.
Okay, I'm gonna do
Okay.
something to not. I'm gonna copy this.
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah. Where is the other terminal? This is weird.
What is this command doing?
Sorry, Nauany?
What is this command doing?
The schematic?
The last command you run on the terminal?
It's gonna generate the module with the component, with the route, and set up everything and what's to gain time, but apparently we are wasting time now. I don't know.
Well,
Okay, it's here. Okay, so ng generate module. Perfect. It did this. Let's see the changes. It created the routing module. It created a component called login and put it on the route. It updates the routing module with the login path. It created the module, the component, spec files, CSS, and everything we need. We can run this and see if it's working. Let me just remove this and hit ng-serve. I think we have some comments. Yeah, I love using NX plugin for generated stuff because this command that I just copied, I would never remember everything in it. I will be missing something or putting routing with only route or doing some stupid stuff here.
I usually
Does
do the worst thing you could, which is just copy something and paste it.
if you just copy right, it's fine. The problem is when you copy the things. I think the route is logging and it's not working because we don't have the router outlet. That should be.
Wait, are you setting up login for when people are logged in?
Just a page where they can log in.
Oh, I don't think we need that if we are going to use single sign-on or something like that because it goes to a different page. So the button would actually navigate you to an external login page, and then you would be redirected back
Oh,
to
really?
our main page. So we wouldn't need a login route. We would need our main route would be just public, and if you're logged in, then you have some extra features. We can just use
And for
the
the
app module.
if I do remember, there is some check that we need to do on the email. It should be at Bitovi. Are we going
Yes,
to
yes.
just should we do it when it's
Uh, we can set this up when user logs in.
okay? We can check if the email.
We
Okay,
would set this up in the external service. It wouldn't allow you to log in if you don't have a Bitovi account.
okay. Let me just bring the. Okay, this one.
But you would still be able to see everything. Every data is public, so that's why we wouldn't need a logged in route.
Okay, so like for example, having a button here, it says login. When you click on it, you just use the OAuth or whatever we will be using
Yeah,
with Firebase.
yeah. It redirects you to a different page, and that page, once logged in, it's gonna redirect you back to um, our page.
Okay, so we just wasted time generating this login.
It's no problem.
Okay, cool. Um, so we will have this page, and what's the other page? Adding new match, and the third one will be adding new game and update profile. So it's 4 pages, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about adding new game or adding a new match now. Those
Yeah,
components could be done later. What we want to do now is
we will just put
the
the
features we can
structure.
see now, like the structure, the left menu where you can select the existing leaderboards, and the once you select one, you're gonna see this table that shows you the leaderboard.
Is this app going to be responsive?
It can be, yes.
Okay.
So mobile first, maybe?
Yeah, that could be done. I don't think we're gonna worry about that much about styling now, because we want to uh, do more interesting stuff like connecting to Firebase. But yeah, once we've done that, we can take a look at the Windows 95 UI kit, which and then we're gonna see if it has um, mobile, um, if it's mobile friendly. I don't know.
Okay.
Are we gonna use standalone components?
I don't know.
If we
Should we?
do, then we don't need modules.
Okay. Okay, so I have created this module with stuff. Should we remove the module and use standalone? Let's see what the
Um,
community says.
yeah, yeah. Please vote.
Yeah,
One
do you
for no
one
modules and two for modules. One for standalone components.
use modules? 2, 1.
Why do you want modules, guys?
Okay, they said use modules. The future is now. Okay, so what's the deal here? Should we use module?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, cool. So we have this component. It should work if I add here the router module.
Standalone will be ready in version 22. By the way, Angular is already turning the common module to to a standalone module in version
Yeah,
14.1, I think,
yeah.
which released today.
Mm-hmm.
So
We will be importing. I'm gonna still use common module because it's a pain to import every time NGF, NG4. It's a common thing to have in your application, so I'm gonna still use them. I'm gonna here auto redirect to the module if the path is empty. Path match full.
wait,
Redirect to leaderboard. And if we open the app with no path, it should redirect to leaderboard. Okay. Now we should add these components like a sidebar.
yeah, we should have a sidebar component and the leaderboard component, which you just created. And the leaderboard component is gonna take an ID for the leaderboard. So we need to add an ID to our routing.
Okay. So here, yeah, your linting is working, and it's giving us errors. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, so let's generate a component and call it sidebar.
Yeah.
Component. I'm gonna use the console sidebar.
We don't need a module for it, right? It's gonna be on app module.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be on the leaderboard.
Why?
Because we created a module for leaderboard. The way I see
Yeah,
it is in
but
this
the sidebar is always gonna be shown. It doesn't depend on the leaderboard. It's like a structure of the app. And if we select a leaderboard, then the leaderboard component should be shown.
No, I
Just
think we
like
did.
the sidebar is the main structure, right? It's like a navigation for.
Yeah, but to me, this leaderboard component is everything. Is if all of this, it's gonna contain a sidebar, cards for games, and this stuff.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't. I
It's
think we
the
could have
way
used the app module for this. We could. I
I
don't know.
wanted to leave the app module like this. So if we want to have other pages, we
Okay.
can just add them here, login or whatever, add new match or something. But for now, we have this module that is encapsulating everything that is related to leaderboard.
Okay.
I think we have some questions. Maybe they can rename it to uncommon module once it's needed. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with using features that aren't finalized. Standalone will be ready in version. Does NX Angular generate support standalone components? I believe yes, but I have to double check. Let's do it now. There is this search bar here. You can search for the, yeah, we can have standalone. You just check this and it adds standalone. That's cool. Here we need to specify the module, leaderboard. Are we going to use a CSS? You can even, for example, have change detection on push. I do like to use it. The path. No path because it's not a child. Okay, now gonna copy the command because it's not working for some reasons. ng generate component. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we didn't specify the path, so it should be inside the leaderboard.
You can just copy it to leaderboard.
It's gonna give me some errors, but it's fine. Okay, move to leaderboard. Okay, I have this extension that does update automatically the imports.
Nice.
Is the leaderboard?
We need to take Sidebar out of there. No? Oh, this is the leaderboard module. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be here. App sidebar. We can have, for example, a main here, and inside of it, we are going to have this.
The routing.
Should we add here a route? So whenever someone clicks on
yes,
yeah.
I think so.
Okay. But wait. In each click, we will show a component. But in our case, those are
you can
dynamic.
use routing. You might use routing or not. You could just pass on a property that has the ID, the ID of the leaderboard to the leaderboard component. Yeah, but you need a nested leaderboard component, I think.
Mm-hmm. So here we can have, for example, an app leaderboard that will take the ID of the clicked one.
Yeah, but
something like this. Leaderboard.
Yeah.
Game. Let's call it app game leaderboard, something like this.
Yeah, it needs to be a new component.
Yeah, I'm just brainstorming to see, and here it will have the ID, for example.
Yes, that could be the current ID.
Okay. Okay, so we will be running the same command on the exception of changing here sidebar to game leaderboard. And project should be the same, the module the same, and it's gonna generate it on a folder. That's why that's one of the reasons I love Angular. Although we have a lot of boilerplate code, but at the same time we have schematics that help us in that.
Yeah, so that schematic is like, it's not correct because it's not adding your game leaderboard inside the leaderboard component, right?
Yeah, we need to add it manually.
Okay. Module, not component.
Just removing the. Okay, so should be here.
Okay, so we have our basic structure already. We have the leaderboard module. It has a sidebar component and a game leaderboard component, which
Yeah.
is the actual leaderboard,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both working. Now I think we can start adding HTML to make this make some sense of the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
So I'd say for accessibility, we need to use a nav element on the sidebar and
Mm-hmm.
have probably an unordered list inside it. And for the game leaderboard, I don't know which HTML element to use.
ULLE. Should we
I,
use
I
ULLE or
think what?
uh, for the accessibility?
I think you would use an ordered list in the nav menu. Uh, yeah, you can use that.
Okay, so this
So
will.
for each item will be a game, sorry, a leaderboard that we fetch from a service.
Yeah.
So sidebar component needs to have uh, to call a service or like you're doing there, some other parent component will fetch the information and input that data to the sidebar component.
Mm-hmm. Should we start more, at least have the interfaces or
I think we should build as we go. So if we need an interface for games now, we probably should create that.
okay,
Yeah,
let's
and that
I have
would be not games, which would be a leaderboard array.
on the sidebar.
Yeah,
It's gonna be this one, the games, no?
I think that's you select the leaderboard, not a game. So there's the Kahoot leaderboard, the Jackbox leaderboard, Hatched Eggs leaderboard, and Hatching Eggs leaderboard,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And the games you just create games so you can link them to a leaderboard to a game, specific game, so you know which game that relates to.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
makes
we are
sense.
talking about leaderboard lists over the inside the sidebar component.
Where do you think we should put the models in core models? Is this
But
the
wouldn't a game be have multiple leaderboards?
Yes, yeah, but we at least in the way I look at the sidebar, it looks to me that that's a list of leaderboards and not a game list.
and I created a folder instead file. Okay, so should it be an interface or type? Which one do you prefer?
I think
Export
interface is good.
interface lead
So someone's
board.
asking, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's Wade. Couldn't it be both? You pick a game, then a board. I think I think for now I don't think we are gonna have multiple leaderboards for each game, so we could just have leaderboards there to make it simple, and then later we could create um a component that's gonna be between the leaderboard and the game selection. So yeah, so if we want to just go right into coding the leaderboard, and I know be direct about it, then we can go like for a minimum level product. I think it just let's just talk about leaderboards for now. That's less work, and we can implement something in less time. If you guys agree.
Okay, but that could work too. Like having here the only the games, like looping over the games, and then when you click, uh, you are going to fetch the leaderboard that is matching the game that you have clicked on. But I think
If it has one.
is it going to add some is it going to be more complicated in terms of fetching data in the backend? Like, is it going to be more simple to just have here leaderboard and then click on it and then fetch the appropriate information for that leaderboard, or
Yeah,
using
so
games?
we can do both, but I mean, right now it would be more simple to just click on a link in the sidebar, and then that leads you straight to the leaderboard.
Okay, cool.
Then later we can build upon that and have you click you click a link in the sidebar that leads you to um, a game a game page that has a list of leaderboards for that game, and then you click on a leaderboard, and that takes you to the leaderboard page.
I agree that it's easier initially to just show the leaderboards.
Yeah, I think that's more simple, and we can go straight to uh, getting the Firebase data once we have the lists working.
Okay, now I will need the parameters for leaderboard. I'm gonna copy them.
Okay.
Can someone send me the...
I
Okay,
have no idea how the data comes back from Firebase, but as soon as we connect those, we can adjust the interface if we need to.
okay, so this is the data, I think. It's ID, game ID, name, description, matrix ID.
I wish Firebase would give us interfaces, TypeScript interfaces for
Yeah, it
this.
does. The Angular Fire package.
It does?
Yeah, the Angular Fire package. You have generics. You can put the return type as a generic. So this interface, we will put it as a generic in the return type. For example, let's see how to fetch data. Firestore, a document. Okay, you inject Angular Firestore, Angular Firestore.doc, and then you put item as an interface and the path for it, the ID, and you get the type for this. It's gonna be item. They didn't
But
specify export
how do you
interface.
know what item is?
Yeah, they have here export interface item is a name string.
Oh, okay. So we need to declare this interface anyway.
Yeah, we will need it anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was wondering if they did this automatically, it would save some work of
Okay,
setting
no,
this up.
it's not that smart, I guess.
Yeah.
You can press Alt and click to select multiple lines, and then you just write on them all at once.
Yeah, you are right. Description are all these attributes are strings, right?
But matrix IDs is an array of strings.
Okay, this one is an array. Um, okay, for us, we probably will need leaderboard with the game inside. So we can show this, the avatar and the description. Should we make here a game as another interface and then specify the game interface?
But isn't this interface for the data that you're going to get back from Firebase?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of now. Should we have two interfaces, or how to deal with this? Um, can we, for
Um,
example, in Firebase get
we
like
could get all leaderboards and all metrics, and that should be enough. For
to
instance, we have a leaderboard ID. Once you click on an item in the sidebar, you're gonna pass the ID to the leaderboard component,
yeah,
right?
but
And
these
then the leaderboard
informations,
component, right?
these informations to show them the name of the game, description, and the avatar. It's
So
not
that
about
would actually be the name of the leaderboard, I think, for now, if we're talking
just for
about
now.
leaderboard.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, we have a name and a description for leaderboard. We could use that for now, and then later we switch that to game
Okay, cool.
information.
Cool. Okay, that would work. Okay.
Yeah, so the minimal implementation would be just use leaderboards for now.
Leaderboard. It's an array. Let's not initialize it. We just discussed this yesterday. Let's put here required. Why it's giving me error? Because I have unused imports. Okay, so here we will be doing an ng4. That's item of leaderboards. It's not working. Come on. Why? It's games.
Okay.
Is this incorrect? This is how it's spelled, right?
Yeah, I think that
Why it's
just
giving
doesn't
me
know
error?
the word.
Yeah, it does not know the word.
That's fine.
Okay. By the way, I'm using this extension that it's correcting the spelling in VS Code. I don't remember its name. It's something spell. If someone interested, yeah, code spell checker. You can add multiple languages.
Cool.
Leaderboards, and as we said, we will be just showing here the leaderboard description. Okay. And it should give us an error because we didn't pass
We are going to
the,
use item dot name and description, and also the image, I guess.
we don't have the
That's
image on the
we do. It's a avatar.
leaderboard. It's on the game
I
model, data model, I think.
is it?
Yes. Hmm.
Is it on the
Okay.
The
game or?
leaderboard has no image. It's on the game, the avatar.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's put this as an H3. Okay, so it's giving us error because we are passing here an input of list leaderboards and it's not defined. To fix that, we need to pass it here. Here probably we will have the logic of Firebase when clicking and stuff. Should we add this logic now, or
Yeah, I
or
think that
or
could be
let's
good.
just mock the data and see and make the design? What do you think?
I think we can connect to Firebase, and once we've done that, I think we already have almost like an hour. upstream, and that should be it. Let's see how much time we have left.
It's already 1 hour 15. Let's just mock the data so we can make the UI a little bit like
Okay.
have the sidebar and stuff.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. I will just add here some description. I will do this 4, 5 and go back to here. Okay, up. For the ID, gonna put something random here. Game ID the same, name.
There's a very nice extension that lets you use lorem ipsum. Or is it a VS Code feature? I'm not sure.
I don't think if I have it. Do I?
Try to type lore outside the string and press tab.
Lore.
Outside a single comma. And press tab. Let's see if it completes for you. Oh, no. I'll find the name of it.
No.
I'll find the name and send in the chat.
Okay. Here I think we have an array. Okay.
Yeah, just an array, a number array, because I think is the metric ID a number or is it also a string?
It's string here.
Okay. Yeah, just add one, I think, because we only, even though the data model supports multiple, we're just gonna use one for now. So just give a random metric for each leaderboard.
Okay, we have our leaderboards. I think we should start with styling this first, like having the sidebar here and the main here. Do you wanna take control of this, Fábio?
Yeah, that could do it. You need to live share, I guess.
Okay, you have the link, or I stopped the.
You stopped it.
Okay. I'm gonna give you the link on the chat now. We are using this extension, live share. Now I can follow Fábio and see what changes that he will be making.
Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so we want to style the sidebar now, is that it?
Mm-hmm. Like have it look like this.
Let me see if I can look at the localhost server. Yes, I can.
You can?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a cool extension. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. I need to take a look at the images you created so we can have a reference.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Can you send me the link or just send me on Slack?
Okay, I'm gonna send you on the chat. I think it's on the documentation. Let me just bring it for you.
Okay, thank you.
It's in the bottom.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so we do have rounded items, a space for an image in the title and a description text. So I think this should be an H2. And this could be something like a paragraph. And then we also need a placeholder for an image. So I'm just going to add a blank image here. Okay, that looks good. And now for the CSS, we're going to style, the nav has a gray background. The list, we're not going to implement the arrows yet. We just have a few items. So I'm just going to, each list item will be white background. So our nav, then list item, background. We have the colors. Ilyass,
Sorry?
do you have the colors
For what?
for the sidebar? It's gray. Do you want to make it like that?
Let's just put some random colors because we will change
Okay,
them
great.
on if you wanna use the Windows 95 UI kit.
Yeah, just make it not look
Yeah, just
awfully
making
bad.
the layout and stuff.
Yeah, border radius. Uh, that looks like a lot. So I'm just adding. Oops.
Okay, let's see if we can add this. No, I can't. Mac.
And then we're gonna have H2 and paragraph. I'm gonna add a padding on our list item. Oops. And I'm gonna remove our margins for H2 and probably P tag. Okay.
Is it possible to use CSS variables
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
from like a separate color palette?
What?
No, you actually already answered.
I don't know if this works. The gap. I think it does. No, it doesn't. But if I do display flex, maybe it does.
Everyone is saying make it pink, a good color.
Which color?
Um,
I mean, which element is going to be pink?
I think
The bigger one.
the background, no?
This?
The sidebar?
Yeah, that's fine. I almost forget which property does make the flex to be column flex direction. Okay. Flex direction, column. Okay, that's better. And we don't want list style flag to be none.
Okay.
And let me just take a look at what we have. Wait, I think I closed it. Oh, there it is. So let me take a look at the reference. That looks good. I don't want any paddings in the UL. I'm gonna remove paddings, and I'm gonna add a padding to our nav. That should be more consistent now. Okay. Is it looking good enough?
Yeah, it's good.
Scheduled.
Now we need to make this slider in the left and the game leaderboard on the in the middle like this. I think to do this we should do it on the upper component, which is this one. Like here have some CSS that will structure our sidebar and the main.
Okay, so we're talking about editing the leaderboard component, HTML, and CSS.
I think the HTML is fine, just the CSS.
Okay.
Probably just a
You want me
grid
to do
or
it?
flex. Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
I think we need to do some like having this take the removing first the automatic margins and stuff, and making the uproot take the whole space, the full height and width.
Okay. You want me to do it?
Okay.
Okay. Just follow.
Okay, I'm
whatever.
gonna follow you.
Okay, so I'm gonna edit the styles.css file. That's a global styling for the Angular application. I think that should be something like HTML and body. Is that it?
Yeah.
I think it's margin.
It's margin 0 and
Yep.
the height should be 100%. See, the body is taking the height, the HTML. Okay.
Okay.
I think we
So
need to
now
do
we
the
have
same for the uproot.
the same what?
For the uproot, because this component is not taking the full height. The
Okay.
root component.
I think we have like a whole selector or something like this.
Yeah.
Which would do height 100.
No, the
Nope.
root component that needs the 100% height.
Okay. That component.
I don't know why it's not taking the full height.
At root. Yeah, it does have height 100%.
Why it's not taking the full height?
Good question. Well, let's do this some other time, maybe. It could be because of the app leaderboard or the router outlet. I don't know. We can do this later. Let's create the structure for sidebar and the main.
Okay.
Sidebar should be like, I don't know, maybe sidebar should be something like this. Maybe this would be display flex. Do you want to use grid or
It's
flex?
fine for me. The same. Let's use flex. You can put the
Okay.
up sidebar inside of host.
Okay. Let me see what this looks like. At sidebar and main flex one. I'm not sure how to do this, like 30%. Is this one? Is this like, am I doing this right? No idea. Always confused.
And why it's now taking the full height?
Maybe this should be one. I'm just Googling how to do 30% width on flex.
I think you can use the flex spaces, no? In this sidebar here, do flex basis of 30%.
Nice.
And
Yeah, I just saw that width works as well. So yeah, that's good.
And this one should take the full width, I believe, 100%.
I don't think it needs that, but because it's just the automatic, it's gonna use the whole width. Okay.
And now how to make the main, we can, for a quick fix, do
Well,
here.
it is 100% now at root and
Flex
leaderboard, so it's working.
basis of 70%.
Yeah, or just flex one. It would use the whole width.
Yeah, probably it's not the right thing to do, the right way to do it, but it's fine.
But it works, looks good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, now we want to mock the leaderboard data and create the leaderboard UI. Do you want to
Sorry.
take control back?
Uh, we need to do what now? Create
The mock data for the leaderboard and then create the UI for it.
leaderboard. You mean this?
Yeah, if we have one selected.
Okay. Okay. Um, here we have leaderboards, so here should be the selected one. Leaderboard equal to leaderboard. We need to create this in our TypeScript file. Probably this mock data should be on in another file, and then, but it's fine. Leaderboard equal to an object. What label do you use for merging for commits? What do you mean by label?
Okay, so our leaderboard component is going to be like a parent component that fetches data. And then it also inputs that data to the leaderboard component, the leaderboard game component, game leaderboard component, sorry.
Okay, so we are done for this part. Now we need to create the input in app game leaderboard. This one. Input leaderboard of type leaderboard. Should make it. I do like using, as we discussed yesterday, I guess, this to make sure that we are providing this input.
But we might have no leaderboard selected at some point. We need to fetch data from Firebase and we might have a delay and then the input would not be available.
Yeah, in that case, we have nothing to show here. For
Yes, so it is possibly undefined.
I think that's something that this component should handle. The upper one, this one should handle that.
Oh, it should have a ngIf.
Like something here ngIf, or for example a container here that will be checking, waiting for leaderboards, and then once you have the leaderboards you can affect a default selected one, and while doing that you can show, for example, a loading here or something. Or we can use a resolver on the router here, but let's keep it simple. and just use and container here.
Okay.
Okay, so this component, the leaderboard, is required for it in order to show the selected one. Why it's giving me an error?
Is it imported in the module?
What is important in the module?
The app game leaderboard.
Is not known property of.
Yeah,
Okay, I think it is, but let me double check. Where is the module? That's not the model that I'm looking for. I'm looking
it's the
for this
leaderboard
one.
module.
Yeah, it has game board component. It's complaining about the input, then verify that it's not. No, it's complaining about the app game. Okay. Probably I missed type in this. Yeah,
What?
it's just a typo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we need to show here the. But first, let's
Yeah.
make this. Take the full.
Full height.
Yeah. Just hide
Just the
one.
nav. Yeah, I would just. It's just the nav.
Are you
Okay.
setting the HTML height?
Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It has this scroll that I don't like for now. No, we'll fix it later on. It's not important now.
I think it's because of border box or something, box sizing.
Okay,
Got
so the main is taking the whole content. Now we need to make something like this. So we have. Should we make here a table or just divs like this? What do you suggest? Let's
it looks
make
like a
only.
table.
Looks
I
like a.
think we need. So the leaderboard, we have a list of scores. So I think that should be a list as well for
Okay.
accessibility. And then the first item would have a different styling than the other ones, and that's our component. It's just a list.
Okay. Do you have to add a message when merging main into your branch? So I feel like it usually does that for me. For now, I'm committing directly to the main. We are not using the PR type and of committing and stuff. But if we did use the PR workflow branch and PR workflow, we will probably use that. Use the same branch name in the commit message. I usually squash. I do like squashing the because in the PR the merge branch will be polluted with messages that are not you don't want to show them in your main branch, so I would probably squash those messages to a proper one. But that's just me. I don't know about you guys. How do you handle merging?
I would agree. I would agree.
Okay. Okay, so here we will have. Should we make the best score as a div and those as you unordered list?
Yeah. Order list, actually. We have a specific order where the first one is represents first item. So
Okay.
order list, I think,
And this one
would
will
be.
be the best score, for example.
So actually, it's just OL, and then you don't use the UL.
Is it all here?
What?
I am sorry, I didn't understand.
You
OL
don't
is the.
use UL, you use OL. And then inside OL, you use LI, list
I
item.
always forget about these.
Yeah, OL, and then list
I
item.
Okay. Uh, Here we have best score. Okay,
Perfect.
so now we need the data to show here. We don't have it here. We need a list of.
So each list item, you're gonna use a ng for each metric. The input would actually be not the. Um, I mean, the leaderboard would we would get a metrics list with the leaderboard, or we would have a different input where we would have the metric list. So what we are going to show there is the metric list. And we would iterate over the metric list to render all the list items.
And what is the matrix list?
Um, ID game, sorry, ID game. Um,
ID game
Actually,
ID.
sorry, not metric. It's score list.
Yeah, but we don't
So we
have
have,
score here.
yeah, we will. So we need to mock that. You could use a different input for that, or we could have a type that has the leaderboard and a score property, scores property, which would be a score array. And then the score would have the ID, match ID, player ID, metric ID, and then the actual score value.
Okay, so score will have player ID, match ID,
ID, match ID, player ID, metric ID, and
interface,
score.
score.
You can also copy
Match.
from the diagram.
Copy from where?
The diagram,
Uh, where is it? Is it on the? Where can I find it?
it's in the chat for the score.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will add only one here and then do this of type this, and here the type is number, not int. Come on. Okay, so here we should have not leaderboard, but we should have the scores, right?
Yeah, a score list. We can have
Scores.
both if we need the leaderboard data like name, description.
Mm-hmm. Score from and we will move over the scores in G for should we show the these scores will be ordered, right? And
Yeah, they're ordered.
okay, so we'll be
We would
showing the
get a
number.
ordered. Yeah, we don't need to show the number. It's automatic.
Ah, okay. The avatar. For now, I'm gonna just move this because we don't have them in the scores. Data model and best score. We will only have best score, right? Not the latest and matches. Okay, so
Yeah,
score.
only the score for now.
Here we can have an avatar in an image.
Yeah,
Somehow,
yeah.
it's say
So when we fetch data from um, Firebase, ideally that information will be available for from the API itself. So
mm-hmm.
we don't need to um, make multiple API calls. Ideally, I don't know. We could also have NGRX make all the requests for us, and then we just create selectors, and those would not be fetching new information unless necessary.
Three full name here. Um,
I would use H2 tag because it's not nested. It's not inside an H2.
okay. And here we will have or a span for score. Now I need to pass
Yeah, I'm
scores.
not sure what would be the best for score if span would do it or not. I'm not sure what makes more sense
Yeah, we'll see.
semantically for HTML. Maybe a paragraph would, or an article with a footer or a main data. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, should we duplicate this data? let's pass it here.
Scores.
It's misspelled.
No, it's fine. Nice, we have our list.
I just need to copy an avatar from Google. Avatar
Yeah.
image. Let's go with something random.
You could get also random Jennifer image to make her happy.
Okay, do you have it?
No.
Let's put it into assets. I think it should be on images. Come on. It should be working now.
Are you using the source attribute?
I think it's not the same extension. Sorry?
Oh, did you put the avatar in the assets folder? Yes. It's JPEG, so JPEG. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Probably it's JPEG.
JPEG. Okay. That's perfect. Fits perfect in the page.
Yeah. It's joint photographic export group, so it's JPEG. Okay, so I think we need another thing. Probably
We need to set up a width and height for the image, like 50
I wanna
pixels.
add all the HTML part and then go with CSS and try to style it.
Okay.
For the best score, is this going
Oh,
to
you
be
don't need to do that.
really?
The best score.
Okay.
We just styled the first
First
list
one.
item.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So host. Is there some questions? Maybe after the stream someone can walk me through it. I have never had to try to do PR with a project I have fucked. I ran into this issue. Seems like people are enjoying the stream.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to style the first one. To do so.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we need the host now. We're not. We are not targeting the host.
Just to do some padding, no? Like rims.
I don't know. We can use padding in the ordered list and not the host.
Okay. Well, I just like to have it here. It's
Okay.
It's not gonna do anything. We have.
You're gonna need to remove the padding in the ordered list, I think, and then you're gonna have to create a selector for ordered list item first child.
Mm-hmm.
to target the best score.
That should be done like this. OL. Is it like this? First child, or it's nth child? Yeah, it's like this, right? Without the.
I think it's list item first child.
Okay, so can we just fix the
I don't
images
think that.
first? Because
So,
feel
I
like
don't think that selector will work. Do you want to test it before
okay.
going to the next? Just add something to the selector OL first child, and then let's put a pink background or something just to see if this works.
Okay. Sorry, what? Now I can focus with you. The images will.
Okay, so the first child, I don't think that works. Could be wrong, but add a background, pink background in it just to test it.
Yeah, it's not working.
So you need to add a list item after OL. OL space LI.
Lie like this. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, now it's working. But why the content is like this? It's overfloating here.
That's because you have no padding on ordered list, no left padding, and then the numbers are probably like have a negative margin. That's probably how browsers implement it.
Okay. Okay. So we need to style the number, the avatar. For the first one, we have this description and this icon.
Yeah.
Should this be an after pseudo element, for example, to show this icon?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think we need to set this up right now, or just the basic structure is enough?
Well, whatever you think. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's style it.
Uh, so I think we are ahead of the time we planned. We could wrap up, and maybe
Yeah,
the
it's
next
already
stream we
2 hours.
start. Okay, so the next stream we're gonna start connecting our front end to the Firebase database,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Okay. So thank you guys for watching and see you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye everyone.